Then call tonight's meeting to order. Let's have the roll call.
Kessler. Walters.
Here.
Burden.
Here.
Ewert.
Here.
Benner.
Here.
Parton.
Here.
Crum.
Here.
Thompson.
Here.
Invocation tonight will be given by Pastor John Meadows of the Christian Chapel Foursquare Church.
Lord, we thank you for this day, and we thank you that you went to the cross so we can be saved and we can have your Spirit. And Lord, by your Spirit, I just ask that you be with us today, be with the mayor and the council and the city officials as they make the decisions that need to be made. And Lord, we ask that you make Haysville the city that you would have it be. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Pledge of allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our presentation and approval of minutes of June 24th, 2019. Mr. Benner.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion that we approve the minutes of the June 24, 2019 business meeting.
Second.
Motion second to approve the minutes June 24th, 2019 session. Question.
Walters.
Yes.
Burden.
Yes.
Ewert.
Yes.
Benner.
Yes.
Parton.
Yes.
Crum.
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Item 1, citizens be heard. We have no citizens on the agenda. Item 2, approval of license and bonds, a refuse hauler license renewal. Allen Sons Waste Services, 3645 Westner, Wichita, Kansas. Mr. Crum?
I make a motion that we approve the refuge hauler license renewal for Allen and Sons Waste Services at 3645 Estner in Wichita, 67213.
Second.
Motion second to approve the refuse hauler's license for Allen and Sons renewal. Discussion? Question?
Walters.
Yes.
Burden.
Yes.
Ewert.
Yes.
Benner.
Yes.
Parton.
Yes.
Crum.
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Item 3, introduction ordinance resolutions. We have none. Item 4, notice of communications. Governing body announcements. Mr. Crum?
Let's go to the library first. On the 9th, 2 o'clock, they'll have the summer matinee movie, which is Space Chimps 2, which actually that's going on right now for their summer night movie. It started at 6 tonight. It's going to start at 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. There's also a Medicare seminar on the 9th, and on the 10th will be the Mad Scientists, a Mad Science special performance at 10 o'clock. That's one of their special programs they have going on. Genealogy group will be meeting at 2 o'clock on the 13th. On the 15th will be their next summer movie night, and that'll be Muppets from Space at 6 o'clock. And then on the 16th, they'll turn around and show that same movie at 2 o'clock, Muppets from Space. And then on the 17th will be their next special performance for the programs at the library, and that's Thad Beach Special Performance. That's what's going on at the library. And then also wanted to mention that campus, their FCCLA, which is Family, Career, and Community Leaders of America, they took second at Nationals in California last week. I believe a team from Atlanta, Georgia beat them, but they took second at Nationals, so congratulations to them. Also wanted to mention that enrollment is open for USD 261 online for current students, and for new students, those enrollments are going on at the administration building from 7:30 in the morning until 5:30 in the evening. And also coming up on the 9th at the library, which is tomorrow, Haysville Healthy Habits is having a special presentation from 6 to 7 on suicide prevention. The presentation's put on by the head of the Kansas Suicide Prevention Network that keeps track of different stats, and it goes out and explains signs to look for, what to do if you see these signs. It should be really important and informative. People may not realize it, but in the past 4 years, there's been more than 16 suicides in the 67060 zip code. So it is a problem. It's something that this program that'll be going on for just an hour may help you spot a problem and get somebody some help. I think it'd be a great opportunity for city leaders to go, teachers. I know they have it set up so the teachers can actually get a credit if they go to it on the My Learning Plan, which is something you can use to recertify. So hopefully it'll have a good turnout, and we can maybe see if we can't turn the direction around where this has been going in recent years. And again, that's at the library tomorrow from 6 to 7. And that's all I have.
Senior Center, Wednesday, July 10th, Beat the Heat class provided by Angels Healthcare, 8:30. Thursday, 11th, July 11th, mystery lunch, 11 a.m. Friday, July 12th, there's a birthday dinner at 5:30. Monday, July 15th, Cooking with Kim at 12:30. Wednesday, July 17th, Commodity Distribution at 1. And Thursday, July 18th is Share Your Salad Day at 11:30. Also, we'd like to congratulate Councilperson Parton on being named as the Citizen of the Year for her work that she's done in the city over the years. So congratulate her for that.
Thank you.
We'll go item B, memo to council regarding new businesses. We have one D&J Specialty Equipment, which is a home office business. Item C is email from Cox on their channel changes. I don't know how they ever have enough channels to change their channels. How do you keep up with them? The program moves from channel to channel somewhere. Item 5, old business, we have nothing. Item 6, other business. A, consideration of manhole rehabilitation services.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. In an ongoing effort to continue refurbishing the city's sewer system, we have identified manholes to require rehab. We have utilized Mayor Specialties, and our current 3-year renewable contract with them goes through 2020. This locks in a price of $125 per vertical feet. In your packet, I've included a map which details 19 manholes for rehab this year. I'm seeking approval to rehab approximately 237 vertical feet of manholes, not to exceed $29,625. And this is a budgeted item, and I stand for any questions you may have.
Ms. Parton?
If there's no questions, I make a motion, we approve Tony agreeing to the rehab for the 237 vertical feet, not to exceed $29,625.
Second.
Most second to approve the rehab of the manholes as presented. Discussion? Question?
Walters?
Yes.
Burden?
Yes.
Ewert?
Yes.
Pinner?
Yes.
Parton?
Yes.
Crum?
Yes.
Thompson?
Yes.
Item B is consideration request to purchase a mower.
So we received proposals to purchase a new mower for the Parks Department. This mower will be utilized to provide a high-performance finish at Plagens Carpenter Park. The current mower that is utilized at Plagens will be transitioned to Dorner Park for the dog park and the berms around there. We currently have a Grasshopper 900D in our inventory. Asking approval to purchase the Grasshopper model 900D for a total of $17,215 from Maximum Outdoor Equipment and Sales. And again, this is a budgeted item, and I stand for any questions you may have.
Ms. Parton?
Make a motion, we authorize him to purchase the Grasshopper model 900D for a total of $17,215.
Second.
Most second to purchase the mower as presented. Discussion, Mr. Crum?
Tony, this may be a silly question, but finish mower really just a mower with a special blade on it, or are they set up in a special way, or?
So this Grasshopper actually has a front deck, so when your elevations are changing, we found that a front deck mower is actually a little bit better. If you have a side deck, it's a little bumpy and your finish isn't as great.
What do we mow our soccer fields with?
We have a reel mower, kind of a mower that they use for golf courses with the small wheels that turn. That's why we're able to get it to about a ½ inch in height.
Okay, because I was wondering if that one could transition to the soccer, but we already have one that we use for the soccer.
Correct.
field. Okay, thank you.
Other discussion? Question?
Walters?
Yes.
Burden?
Yes.
Ewert?
Yes.
Pinner?
Yes.
Parton?
Yes.
Crum?
Yes.
Thompson?
Yes.
Item C, consideration request to purchase server.
So we also received proposals to update and replace the Public Works Department server. Our current server is showing signs of potential failure. The current server also runs Windows Server 2008, which will not be supported by Microsoft in 2020. So with the risk of failure and with the server not being supported in 2020, we're looking at getting this new server. I am requesting authorization to accept the quote from Consurgent IT for $14,778.23. And again, I stand for any questions you may have.
Mr. Crum?
First question is, do we have this stuff backed up anywhere that's on that server?
Yes.
Okay. There's no other questions, I'll go ahead and make a motion that we'll go ahead and go and allow Tony to go ahead and get the server from Consurgent IT, not to exceed $14,778.23.
Second.
A second to approve the purchase of the server as presented. Discussion? Question?
Walters?
Yes.
Burton?
Yes.
Ewert?
Yes.
Binner?
Yes.
Parton?
Yes.
Crum?
Yes.
Thompson?
Yes.
Thank you.
It's review time for 2020 budget. Will's got a very detailed and long proposal he's going to show us here.
We'll go ahead and
So
put it,
relax and we'll let him do it.
okay. We will look at mill levy comparison between the 2019 and the 2020 proposed budget, the increased valuation the city has experienced this year. We'll look at the sales tax funds that we estimate to come in for 2020, staff adjustments, personnel detail. We'll also look at the debt service and the amount of principal we're going to be paying off this fall. We'll look at the next steps in the budget process and then go over any questions. This is the comparison sheet. What we've got is total dollars levied in each of our 5 funds there: general fund, library, debt service, law enforcement, and special liability. And then under mills there, that's what we proposed last year. And then when the valuation came in November, the mill rate was actually what's under the certified column. So that's for the 2019 budget. So when you look at the 2020 section, we've got the total dollars we're proposing to levy and the mill rate. You can see that the mill rate overall has gone from 48.424 certified, and we're proposing 48.205, a decrease of 0.219 mils. So we're looking at everything that's in this proposed budget, we're looking at decreasing the mill levy again.
We're gonna drop it more this year than we did last year.
Yeah, this is a bigger decrease than last year. This is just a visual representation of the mill rate for each of those funds. General fund being the blue, debt service red, library yellow, which the library is 5.25 mils. Law enforcement, it's the light blue, it's 2 mils, and then special liability, which we use to pay insurance. Our valuation, our final valuation that we got in November last year was $59,323,000, you can see. And then our valuation mid-year this year is $62 million, an increase of $2.697 million. If you look at the mill rate that we have for 2019 and you calculate the difference in valuations, that gives us $130,000 extra based on the increase in valuation. The 1% city sales tax, our 2019 budget estimate was $830,000. It's coming in quite a bit better than that, and you guys received the monthly report that Ginger sends out that shows that. So for 2020, I've estimated that to come in at $900,000. We're looking at putting 50% of that into the street program, 10% into park, and 40% into the recreation. In the recreation, $265,000 will be for the building payment for 2020. Staff adjustments, I've got 1 on there. In this proposed budget, I'm looking to fully fund the deputy administrative officer position. That would be a position within the administrative services department that we've had in the personnel manual for quite a few years, but hasn't been funded since I was in that position. Personnel detail, in the 2019 budget this current year, we had a 35-cent increase to step 1 of every position on the pay chart. And as the pay chart goes, that flows through each of the other steps. Between steps and the pay chart is a 3% increase. And that was effective this year in January. In the 2020 proposed budget, we're going back to a step increase with a satisfactory performance evaluation. And that would be effective on the first full pay period in July of 2020. And we've gone back and forth with those the last couple of years, doing a COLA 1 year and the step increase the next year. Our debt service, we've been continuing to pay that down at a good rate. Our mid-year principal balance is $8,565,000. Currently, our payments this fall of principal total $1,365,000. So by mid-year next year, we would be at $7,200,000. But as you can see, we've got those temporary notes for the Timber Creek Estates Phase 2. So once that project is done, we'll bond those out, and those will get added to our principal balance on the outstanding GO bonds.
That's so Zach doesn't sell them all and transfer to somebody else.
I gotta go pick up a check tomorrow, so.
Certificates of participation that we have on the activity center. I just put the final payment out there so we can look forward to that. It's in 2035. But you can see we're paying off $140,000 in principal this fall. Upcoming capital expenditures or projects. The memo that I put out to council earlier this year covered most of these, or all of these. We got the North Main Street replacement. Last year when we did the budget presentation, we had put in the project at 30% city costs and 70% federal funds. When we went through the application process and presented, then WAMPO came back and said, you guys only need to provide 20%. So the number here, last year it was $600,000. This year it's $435,916. So that was a bonus for us on that project. The rotary press is a dewatering process we're looking at doing with the wastewater treatment facility. So I've got our estimated construction expenditures there and unestimated design cost there as well. Other projects, senior center expansion, that's currently in the design phase. We're looking at, depending on how much it costs and how much money we have, we're looking at either doing a temporary financing where if we take a 3-year temporary note, we can pay off the entire project in 3 years. We're also, considering bonding depending on what that comes in at. Same thing with the police department repair and remodel. We had that sample budget, which the entire project came in at $446,000 based on that sample budget. Currently, we're in design on that as well, so we'll have a good idea of what that's going to be before too long. The historic chapel, we're obtaining that additional construction quote, and we've looked at potentially paying for that one out of capital improvements without having to do any financing on that project.
Well,
Yes.
Yeah, but
did the senior center and the police department at basically the same time, and could we bond those two together?
I
Get
think-
a better deal?
That's something we can look at doing, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Other projects, the Grain and Supply Co. restoration, we're issuing an RFP for design build services for that project. If you're not sure what that building is, it goes south on South Main, and it's the pink building down there. So I always call it the pink building. But the activity center expansion we've looked at amortization on that, what it might be if we get similar rates as our current COP, and it looks like we could fund that with the city sales tax. So city sales tax would come up again, of course, in 2024. So in this year's proposed budget, we've also budgeted in a $60,000 transfer from general fund to the capital improvements fund in both 2019 and 2020 for these projects, as you've seen here. In addition to the budget for 2020, I always take these bond rating calls from Moody's, and they always ask us if we have a reserve, and they always want to see a reserve in the general fund. They kind of want to see one in the debt service. So in the 2020 proposed budget, I've put in there basically a 5% of annual budgeted expenditures carry over or reserve, and that amounts to $300,000 in the 2020 budget. The next steps, we would have the approval of the publication of notice of hearing at the next council meeting, and then the public hearing date we would set for August 12th, which is the first regular council meeting in August. Do you have any questions?
Mr. Trump?
I do have a question on and I understand that the valuation's going up, so I don't know what the dollar difference is. For the library, last year we gave them 5.052, and this one has 4.827. That's a difference of 0.2. Basically, that's the difference of the total cut overall. It's right as 0.225.
For the library?
Yes. That's what I'm seeing, right?
I'm gonna sit down and look at the number here because the total dollars should be.
It says the mill, well, see, that's what
Going up.
I can't see the total dollars. That's what, alls I'm seeing is the mills. And for the
So-
library building, it says in 2019, we gave 5.052.
Okay, I see what I see what your question is now. So that's just the library building, and you can see the total dollars there, $299,385. That's the payment for the library building.
Okay,
So the reason the other number is smaller is because our valuation is increased, so the amount of mills is lower.
okay.
But as far as the library, you can see also on that sheet, we're going from levying 311,000 to levying 325,000. So the amount going to the library is
Okay, so it's
increasing.
the library, okay. Okay, thank you.
Other questions, council, we're on budget? Any of the items or line or what, those brought up to this point at all? Mr. Crum?
The 300,000 you're talking about putting in so that when they call about, would that be something where like you would just try to stay, are you trying to, what's the ultimate goal on what that number should be or would like to be? Because I know you're not trying to get there in 1 year, I don't think.
Well, I've got it in there in this budget to carry over from 2020 to 2021, and it's around 5% of budgeted expenditures in the general fund.
But I mean, is that what Moody's would like to see?
It's hard to say exactly what they would like to see. They want to see some reserve, and some cities or counties use a different number, a higher number. I don't know. There could be some that use a lower number. But then we got to balance whatever the taxpayer expectation is. You know, if we have a too high of a number, then they're going to say,
All
well,
right, that's why I didn't know
money.
if the goal for what they would want would really be $1 million and you're trying to get there in 3 or 4 years, or is the goal 300,000, or are you trying to get there in 1 year?
The target goal I would like to go forward with is the 5%, which is about 300,000 with next year's proposed budget. And if they tell me on the phone, well, that's nice, but you really need a 10% for it to make any difference, then that's something we could look at.
So you're trying to get to your goal in 1 year? That's my question.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
This year's evaluation was good. I don't remember the last one. We were at 60-some million several years ago, I think, weren't we?
Back- I think what I'm remembering is we hit somewhere in the 50s, and then it dropped down
High
and
50s
stayed
and
stagnant
dropped
for
back
quite a
down.
few, and now it's gone up
So this is the highest evaluation that we've had
ever.
in the city, and it's truly creating good income, but we're trying to give some of that back to the taxpayers also. We're not giving a lot back, but we are giving some back every year to the taxpayers, and we're able to do that and still fund the things that, for the growth in the city that's there. This reserve, I think, will be something so that we don't have to always rely on the capital improvements fund for our reserve out there. That's why we tell them we've always got this capital improvements coming in, but you know, who knows if the county were to do away with that, where we would be at this point. I don't see them doing away with it, because there'd be a lot of cities that would have a lot of increased mill levies if they did that. But this is, I think, one really good thing, to always have reserve money in case something really happens, a tornado hits, or who knows what hits out there. All the water lines break with some earthquake or something, who knows what may happen out there. You don't know those water lines that break, Tony? So anyway, I think the reserve is something we've been trying to do for several years out there.
I think it's a wise business practice.
Yeah. Reserve money, and I agree, you don't have so much reserve money that you're actually costing taxpayers money by padding your budget so much. But if we had a disaster, we also want to increase the mill levy so much on the taxpayers out there to pay for the disaster out there either. So it's a good middle of the road of what we're doing at this point. Budget, I think has turned out very well. Will and the department heads have all done a good job with the budget this year. There'll be another shot at it come July the whatever date it is, 22nd, next meeting. So if you have questions in between there, talk to Will, he can explain those to you. If not, we'll cover them again come July 22nd. No additional questions, we'll just move on then into the department reports. Will.
I'm nothing.
Janie? Chief?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. The only thing I have tonight is our visiting officer is Officer Matt Mellington. So he's on our second shift, afternoon shift right now. It's actually his day off, so make sure you say hi to him when you go by out there. So thank you.
That works, Tony.
As most of you have probably noticed, the Cowskin Creek has no water in it currently. The city of Wichita diversion number 5 in the floodway has been damaged with the heavy rain this season. That diversion directs low flow from the floodway into the Cowskin Creek. So currently, since it's damaged, the only time the Cowskin Creek will have water is when the floodway is up higher. The city of Wichita and the county are working on developing a plan for repairs, and is my understanding they have an agenda item scheduled for the city of Wichita council meeting on July 24th. Shortly after that, they'd like to send out a request for proposals to construction firms, and tentatively construction is scheduled for September. Thank you.
Brilliant.
Evening, Mayor and Council. As Councilman Crum started, the school enrollment started today, as did fall registration for us. Latchkey packets are available to pick up. We will start latchkey fall or 2019, 2020 enrollment starting next July 15th, next Monday. So today started enrollment for fall youth volleyball. This is for 3rd through 6th grade. Monday next week we'll start fall soccer registration. This Friday and Saturday, the pool will be closed for swim meet finals. There will be a lot of people over in that area. There is the first 2 rows of parking at the activity center will be blocked off for activity center patrons, but splash pad will still be open to the public, but there just will be a lot of people in that area camping out, just so everybody reminded what's going on. Lastly, food truck is this Thursday from 11 to 1. I believe it is Gaga Grub, which is a taco truck. So if you're looking for lunch, that's all I have.
Mr. Crawford?
I'm just gonna follow up on the swim meet, that there will be a lot of people between Friday and Saturday. There'll be 7 teams participating, and it'll be between 500 and 600 athletes swimming, so it'll be crowded over there, just be aware.
And there'll be snow cones.
Thank you, Judy. Item number 8, appointments, we have none. 9, agenda citizens, we have no citizens here. Item 10, executive session, nothing. Item 11, bills to be paid. Bills for the first half of July. Ms. Zewert?
Yes, I'd like to make a motion that we pay the first half of July bills.
Motion second. Do I hear a second somewhere?
Second.
Okay. Motion second to pay the first half of July bills. Discussion? Question?
Walters?
Yes.
Burden?
Yes.
Ewer?
Yes.
Benner?
Yes.
Parton?
Yes.
Crum?
Yes.
Thompson?
Yes.
Item 12, consent agenda, nothing. Item 13, council items. A, council concerns. Council, any concerns you got out there, Mr. Crum?
First one's not a concern, I should have covered this before. H3 had sticker shock last week, where they went around and put stickers at local grocery store, one of the gas stations, and both liquor stores about penalties for underage drinking. And I just wanted to thank Chief for allowing Officer Starnes and Officer Trainee Zerke to help us out. I think they actually had a good time, nice time visiting with them. Then the question, Will, I don't know if this would be for you, have we done everything we need to do to make sure when they do the census that everybody that lives in the Haysville city limits gets counted for Haysville, even if they don't have our zip code?
Mayor, maybe you'll answer that better.
I attended the meeting that was done from all the cities and counties about the census, so we're working with them to do that. We'll be working through our social media and so on and so forth to do that. So yeah, I attended the meeting that they had downtown.
Okay, because that's, seems like always been an issue here and there. And then the other question I have, and Tony, this may be for you, Mayor, maybe for you, I don't know. I was curious about the total plan project on the walking bridge over the Meridian Bridge that we're paying for our half of the sidewalk and stuff. I'm curious if we've seen the project plans, because I'm curious of what the crosswalk's gonna look like across 63rd Street.
We have not. We have not seen those plans, so I have no idea what the, what they would do with the light. My understanding, there's supposed to be a light at 63rd Street, but we have not seen plans, so we don't know.
Okay, that's what I was kind of curious about, because the way that's set up right now, you have to pull out so far to see anybody to turn left anyway, that if they had a crosswalk there, you'd have to. That's why I was curious. Is there any way we could ask
Yeah,
to see
sure.
that, just out of curiosity? Because I know they're gonna put a light in at 55th and Meridian. You
Yeah.
can do that. They're also talking about putting one at 63rd.
That's what my understanding is, but we can, sure, yeah, we can get.
I'd like to follow up on that just to
Sure.
make sure.
Yes, not a
I-
problem.
I want that to be a great way for people to get around, but I also want it to be safe, so
Sure.
that's all I had.
Okay. Other concerns anywhere, council? If not, we have the council action request updates.
So in regards to 1126 East Grand, all last week, they did not park in the area that needs sprayed weeds, but I stopped by before the meeting and they were parked there, but they did spray for weeds, so that case will be considered closed. The 328 Hungerford, the property owner has removed the remaining concrete slabs. Case is considered closed as well.
Item 14, adjournment.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion second to adjourn, discussion, question.
Walters?
Yes.
Varden?
Yes.
Hebert?
Yes.
Binner?
Yes.
Parton?
Yes.
Crum?
Yes.
Thompson?
Yes.